We are live for the first Tuesday of the month in November, believe it or not. I feel like every time we start a live, I'm always like, I can't believe it's November because it literally still feels like it's January from the beginning of the year. I can't believe how fast this year has gone. And we're already talking about book club books for next year, 2026.
We are.
That is crazy. So if you're just joining us, Dani and Laura here with DoubleBookedCo. We are going to be doing some reading sprints this evening. If I get my little book out, I can show you what we're reading this month. November being the last month that we read for. So if you're thinking about joining us, that is fantastic. But we won't be reading anything in December together. But for November, we're reading this little gem called Jane's Fame, How Jane Austen Conquered the World. And that is by Claire Harman. So this will help you get any nonfiction reading in that you may be reading if you're doing nonfiction November. So that is what we're reading here. Did you want me to read the back, Laura?
Yeah, my copy's at the office. I didn't bring it home with me tonight. So
no worries. Yeah, I'll read the back of this, and then what we'll do is we'll talk about what's coming up for 2026 because Laura and I are pretty darn excited about it. So again, we are reading Jane's Fame in November. This is a nonfiction book, and this says Jane's Fame tells the fascinating. Wow, I feel like in the beginning, like can't talk today. Once upon a time. I love that video. Every time I'm like, what is she trying to say? Like, why can't she get it out of her mouth? Anyways, I'm like looking at it and I'm like, there's no end. There's no end. That's what my brain was saying. And I'm like, I need to pause here. Anywho, back to the script. Jane's Fame tells a fascinating story of Jane Austen's renown. What? Can I read?
Maybe not.
I don't think I can read. I don't think I can read. Okay. Gotta tell you guys.
Take 3.
Reading away. I can't read. That's why I read so many audiobooks. Anywho, Jane's Fame tells a fascinating story of Jane Austen's renown. That just doesn't seem right to have that word there.
Yeah, no, that's right.
From the years of rejection the author faced during her lifetime to the global recognition and adoration she now enjoys. Almost 200 years after her death, Austen remains a hot topic, constantly open to revival and reinterpretation and known to millions of people through film and television adaptations as much as through her books. In Jane's Fame, Claire Harman gives us a complete biographical? No, it just says biography. Biography. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
I can't read today. Why can't I read today?
I don't know. Good thing this is short for you.
What is going on? Biography.
Oh my gosh.
Why can't
Did you have coffee this morning? I mean, I know it's late.
coffee an hour ago.
Okay, well, all right then. I don't know.
Gives us the complete biography of both.
And she's gone.
And her lasting cultural influence, making this essential reading for anyone interested in Austen's life, works, and remarkably potent fame. Oh my goodness, I'm crying. I'm glad no one's here. Woo!
Yeah.
If you're watching us in replay, you're welcome. So anyways, this is essentially, it says how Jane Austen conquered the world. And what's even better is it has pictures. So you can't read like me. You have a few pictures to look at. So that is what we're going to be reading in November. I should probably leave that out because I might start that tonight. But let's talk about what is going to be happening here for 2026, because as I mentioned before, the last book of the year that we read is in November. We skip December for the holidays so that everyone can kind of do what they need to do if you're trying to get your reading in for the end of the year, or if you're, just trying to settle down with family. We want to be able to make it so that it's not too much for anyone, and it's helpful for us too. So what we do though is we prep for the next year during November and December. So Laura's gonna talk a little bit about what to expect for 2026, because we do have a theme, which we're pretty excited about. And then she's gonna go through what the options are for January. So the next time you'll see us, if you're not reading with us here in November, will be in January of 2026. So take it away, Laura, who can read.
All right. Well, we'll see. Okay, so for next year, we're going to do a decades theme for each month. And it's not really a decade necessarily for January. It's just the last 5 years. So we have 2020 through 25. And again, I'll go through the 3 options we have for you guys tonight in just a minute. And then each month we have, as we go forward, goes back in time by a decade. So February are the 2010s, March are the 2000s, the noughties, April, the 90s. I love the 90s. May, which is my pick month, that's the 80s. June is the 70s. Dani's birthday month, July, is the 60s. August is 1950s, and Andy has already claimed that as her spot. September is the 40s, October is the 30s, and November is the 20s. So currently, we have several months open if you want to pick something. You can email me. My email address is heybookbubbler@gmail.com. We have February, March, April, June, September, October, November. So it's the 10s, the noughties, the 90s, the 70s, 40s, 30s, and 20s are still open. If you don't remember my email and you want to leave it in a comment here, no problem. Leave it in our community tab. Anywhere you want to leave it, Dani will get it to me wherever we have to get it. So we hope you pick a month and just 3 titles, any genre. If you want to pick a theme, knock yourself out. If you don't, knock yourself out. Do whatever you want, but just stick to those books published in those years for the months. So I think this will be really fun. And I think we're going to get a decent variety of things too this time around, just because we're going to have to get a little more creative, or it'll be a lot of classics when we get to the 20s maybe. I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, looking forward to what everybody comes up with for next year. So for January, let me put all my stuff down. We have 3 books here for you guys. So your first option for January is Apples Never Fall. Is that correct? By Leanne Moriarty. I didn't write down the title at all. I just have the printed of the description. So I want to make sure I got that right. All right, Apples Never Fall. Here we go. Let's see if I can read.
Good luck, because I was terrible.
Thank you. I'll try. The Delaney family love one another dearly. It's just that sometimes they want to murder each other. If your mother was missing, would you tell the police? Even if the most obvious suspect was your father? This is the dilemma facing the 4 grown Delaney siblings. The Delaneys are fixtures in the community. The parents, Stan and Joy, are the envy of all their friends. They're killers on the tennis court, and off it, their chemistry is palpable. But after 50 years of marriage, they have finally sold their famed tennis academy and are ready to start what should be the golden years of their lives. So why are Stan and Joy so miserable? The 4 Delaney children, Amy, Logan, Troy, and Brooke, were tennis stars in their own right, yet as their father will tell you, none of them had what it took to go all the way. But that's okay, now that they're all successful grown-ups and there is a wonderful possibility of grandchildren on the horizon. One night, a stranger named Savannah knocks on Stan and Joy's door, bleeding after a fight with her boyfriend. The Delaneys are more than happy to give her the small kindness she sorely needs. If only that was all she wanted. Later, when Joy goes missing and Savannah is nowhere to be found, the police question the one person who remains, Stan. But for someone who claims to be innocent, he, like many spouses, seems to have a lot to hide. 2 of the Delaney children think their father is innocent, 2 are not so sure, but as the 2 sides square off against each other in perhaps their biggest match ever, all of the Delaneys will start to re-examine their shared family history in a very new light. So this is from, I don't know what year, I didn't write that down, 20-something, obviously, 2020.
Yeah, I think it was 20. Where is that going to be? 2021.
Thank you. Okay. And it's 467 pages. So a bit chunky, but we read from her before and it usually goes pretty quickly, right?
Yeah, and I've read several of her books, and you fly through them. There's a little sometimes towards the center, it's kind of like it's like a little bit flat, but once you hit the like beginning of the end, it's a snowball. But and I've always enjoyed. I'm pretty sure most of her books that I've read have either been 4 or 5 stars. She's just an excellent writer. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, up next is the start to a series, but it's book number 1, so don't sweat it. It's called The Eyes of the Queen by Oliver Clements. And, okay. Oh, God, yellow writing, yellow printing. In this first novel of the exhilarating Agents of the Crown series, a man will join Her Majesty's Secret Service to protect England and Queen Elizabeth I from a nefarious plan to crush the Age of Enlightenment. After centuries locked in an endless cycle of poverty, persecution, and barbarity, Europe has finally emerged into the Age of Enlightenment. Scientists, philosophers, scholars, and poets alike believe this to be a new era of reason and hope for all. But the forces of darkness haven't completely dissipated, as certain heads of state hunt and butcher any who dare to defy their ironclad Catholic orthodoxy. England must fight the black shadow that threatens this new age. Although the brilliant young Queen Elizabeth I may be brave and headstrong, she knows she cannot win this war simply by force of arms. After her armies have been slashed in half and her treasury is on its knees, Elizabeth needs a new kind of weapon forged to fight a new kind of war, a war in which stealth and secrecy, not bloodshed, are the means. In this tense situation, Her Majesty's Secret Service is born, with the charismatic John Dee in its ranks. A scholar, a soldier, and an alchemist, Dee is loyal only to the truth and to his queen. And for her, the woman he is forbidden from loving, he's prepared to risk his life. A visceral and heart-pumping historical thriller, this is perfect for fans of Ken Follett and Dan Brown. This was, I think, 2020. This one I can look at. Yep, 2020. And it is approximately 290 pages. So not too bad. And the last option we have is The Foxwife by Yangtze Chu. This is from 2024. I can look that up right away. Okay, Manchuria, 1908. In the last years of the dying Qing Empire, I think it's Qing, Qing. I apologize, I didn't look that up first. I should have looked that up. A courtesan is found frozen in a doorway. Her death is clouded by rumors of foxes, which are believed to lure people by transforming themselves into beautiful women and handsome men. Bao, a detective with an uncanny ability to sniff out the truth, is hired to uncover the dead woman's identity. Since childhood, Bao has been intrigued by the fox gods, yet they've remained tantalizingly out of reach until, perhaps, now. Meanwhile, a family who owns a famous Chinese medicine shop can cure ailments but can't escape the curse that afflicts them. Their eldest sons die before their 24th birthdays. When a disruptively winsome servant named Snow enters their household, the family's luck seems to change. Or does it? Snow is a creature of many secrets, but most of all, she is a mother seeking vengeance for her lost child. Hunting a murderer, she will follow the trail from northern China to Japan, while Bao follows doggedly behind. Navigating the myths and misconceptions of fox spirits, both Snow and Bao will encounter old friends and new foes, even as more deaths occur. Best-selling author Yangtze Chu brilliantly explores a world of mortals and spirits, humans and beasts, and their dazzling intersection. Excuse me. Epic in scope and full of singular, unforgettable characters, The Foxwife is a stunning novel about old loves and second chances, the depths of maternal love, and ancient folk tales that may very well be true. And this is a bit chunky. It's about 385 pages. There's some notes at the end that I'm not counting, but yeah. So there we go. Foxwife, Eyes of the Queen, and Apples Never Fall are your choices for January. Again, we have just about half the year available for months to pick. If you would like to pick something, please do. Please send me an email at heybookbubbler@gmail.com or leave a comment anywhere we have social media, and we will get it put on the calendar. If you could get things to me or decide or post somewhere by Christmas, that would be great. That gives us enough time to update calendars and make sure we're prepared for the rest of the year. So, hope you join us, and please go ahead and vote. You're on mute.
Thank you.
Yep.
Sorry, I had to talk to my daughter. She's like trying to get out of bed, but so I will have that post up shortly into our first sprint. So you'll be able to do the voting anytime this evening, and that will close. I think we keep them up for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So that will be closing on Monday the 17th. So we'll know what we're reading in January by the 18th, so Tuesday the 18th. And then the following Tuesday, the 25th, we'll announce it again, of course. We'll have our live stream for the November book, which is Jane's Fame.
Mm-hmm.
You won't see us again until January. So our first reading sprint of the new year, 2026, will be on January 6th. So that'll be the first time you see us in the new year. Okay. Well, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Exciting. I feel like we haven't done a reading sprint in a really long time because I think, we skipped October because we were gone.
Oh, we did September.
And then we had one in September. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hopefully I'm able to read, I'm sure. What are your plans for reading tonight?
I was going to read the book and didn't realize I forgot it at work until about 20 minutes ago. Like right before I joined the call, I was like, oh crap, it's in the office. So no worries. I have other books at home. I'm going to finish on my Kindle the latest Miss Marple book I'm reading. I'm trying to remember the title, A Pocket Full of Rye. I'm like 91%, and I kept falling asleep last night. I was so mad. So I'm going to finish this here. Oh, I was really swearing a lot. Like, come on, stay awake. 5 more minutes. Nope. And then I'm going to either go to, I don't know, The Unselected Journals of Emma M. Lyon, which is fiction epistolary, set in 1883 in London. It's very cute. I'm enjoying this very much. And then, or I'm going to try and work on The Ghost of Mrs. Muir by R.A. Dick. I started this in short of September. I'm only on page 67. So, we'll see what I end up picking up after Miss Marple solves it. So, yeah. Lord knows what's going to happen. I don't know. What are you reading tonight?
So I am almost done with my reread of London.
Yay.
So I know. And I have to, my stepdaughter is coming home for a visit this weekend. So I kind of want to make sure that I get it done because I always have these on Sunday nights. So I want to have it done before so that it doesn't, lean into her time. So I'm going to try to get a chapter read of this, which is, I think, so I only have 3 chapters left to the end. It's less than 100 pages. So I'm going to see if I can get at least 1 chapter read tonight. If not, maybe the rest of the book. I'll see how I'm feeling because then I'll be able to just film the last 3. So that's what I'm going to do with that. And then I would like to get into our book club book because I feel if I at least can get it started during reading sprints, then I have a better hope of actually finishing it towards the end. And I always finish the book, but you know how it goes. Like the closer it gets to the live discussion, you're like, oh no, I now need to read an entire book in a week.
Yep.
So I always like to try to at least start it during reading sprints. So we'll see how long this takes me because I'm not just reading it. I underline and take notes and for my videos. So it takes longer. So 70 pages isn't going to be a quick, it's
right.
Yeah. So anyways, that's probably what I'm going to do. First I'm going to get that community post up, but probably London and then a little Jane Austen.
Nice.
So yeah. Well, beside that, do you have any other reading plans as far as the end of the year? I know when it gets towards the end of the year, everyone starts to rush for their reading goal. Are you kind of in that same boat or
100%? Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
So I am on Goodreads, of course. I've been on there for a long, long time. And my goal this year, everywhere I'm posting is 100 books. And according to Goodreads, I'm only at 77. On Storygraph, or I'm friends with nobody, whatever. That's where I track my smut and the romance stuff I read. I'm at 99. So like I'm going to finish for sure.
Yeah.
But not Goodreads. So I'm trying to read non-filthy things for the end of
So
the
that you
year.
can get the Goodreads to
So I
hit
can
the
check that off.
100.
Yeah, it's not a
Okay.
big deal, but yeah. So
Yeah.
I know I'm going to get there. It'll be fine. But yeah, actually, I know I'm going to get there for the actual total for Storygraph, but Goodreads, not so sure. So there are, oh God, I counted this up because I'm such a loser and I love making lists. And through various things, I need to read like 13 books for one challenge, 4 for another. I have 10 books I paused at the end of last year. I have not gotten back to. I do want to read them all. I think it's too much to hope that I'll try and finish any of them, but maybe.
Yeah.
Started a new audiobook. It's like 20 some hours. And then there's the 23 that I need to read yet on Goodreads. So it's going to be a panic and a scramble. I kind of enjoy
those
that.
can work for the 23.
Yeah, I have some crossovers. The 13 I know are like specific titles for the like certain things. The 13 and the 4, and there's no crossover. So that would get me to 17. I just need 5 more after that then.
Yeah.
More after that, whatever. Anyways.
There you
So
go.
yeah.
Okay.
I got stuff to do. Can't afford to, work or do any responsibilities. I just want to sit and read. If only that were true.
Yeah, I found them.
I know. And you have like gone past your goal already, correct?
I have, yeah. So I think I'm at like 110 or something like that, and my goal was 100. And I have very much been very lax in the last, because so I think I hit 100 in like September or maybe even August, and I was like, oh great, so I have the rest of the month, like, and it's not like it's like, oh, I hit 100 so I'm done. I just keep reading, but I hit a very impassable slump in the last like month. I would say ever since we got home from the hospital, I've just like not been reading at all, which is so unlike me. But I think our book from last month, our book club book, really just put me into a slump. I was really not enjoying it. It was really just kind of like, it was. So when I have a book that I'm meant to read, like I have to read, like it's homework, which it's not, but it is, it's book club and we're moderators. It's something we have to read. I feel like I have to put that first. And if I'm not getting pages read in that book, I'm not allowed to read other books because I need to make sure that I'm progressing. So I was not wanting to read that book. So I just didn't read anything else. So it put me in a huge slump, which I'm still kind of in. Like I have a bunch of books going, but I just haven't gotten into them because I'm just like, whatever. I mean, I was still going forward in my London book because that's another like homework book. Like I have a goal to get these videos out. So yeah. But anywho, December is always really good for me because I read a ton of Christmas books. So it's just like fluffy, fun, easygoing. So I'm sure I'll probably get, I wouldn't be surprised if I end up with like 125 books read for the year. Just because December is always really good for me because they're short, they're easy. It'll probably put me in a good mood to read those kinds of books. But I do have a lot of house guests in December as well. So who knows? But yeah. Well, why don't we stop that thought there and we can bring it up again later if we so choose. But let's go ahead and do as we are supposed to and get some reading sprints in. It is 8:25 our time, so let's go ahead and do our normal 25-minute sprints. Those have always worked out really well for us. That'll bring us to the 50 mark. I'll put a little timer or put the time on the screen here. Laura and I will mute ourselves. I'll find a nice ASMR. Do we want to do like fall or do we want to get into more like wintry stuff? What are your thoughts?
Let's do a wintry one. What the heck?
Wintry? Sure. Okay. I'll find something wintry, maybe with those little animals again. I love those. They're so cute.
So cute. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And we'll come back and let everyone know how we did.
Sounds good.
Okay. Sounds good. Happy reading. Okay, so we are going to check in with everyone. See how you did.
How did your time?
I got 1.5 pages read. Mostly because, one, I got the community post up. So if you're interested in voting in our poll, we have that up. And I listed all the decades in that post. So it kind of gives you a brief explanation. But if you have any questions, please let us know. I also had to go upstairs and sing my kids 2 more songs so they would go to sleep, which they did now. It's amazing how that works. And then when I got back down, I have to so it's really weird. So when I'm reading London, what I do is I have my notebook, right? And I'm a weirdo, but it just helps me keep everybody situated. So before I start each chapter, I add them to my own little timeline that I've created.
Yeah.
Which is just a replica of the one that's in the book. But for me, it helps me
writing it down helpful.
See who's going to be in the chapter, and so that I can keep everyone straight and who's who before I start reading and go, wait, who was that again? And then when I start, then I start to write down what time it is, what time is it, and who's starting. And then I have to use, or then I when people pop up, I have to put in a little tab, and then I highlight the people and what significance they may have. So right away in the first 2 pages, there's been 3 people. So we have a young boy, we have a silver sleeves, we have a bull. So I have to do all that. It's all so clearly. Yeah. So I got 1.5 pages read. Once we go to another sprint, I'll have more because I'm into it now. I don't have to do as much, but yeah, so that's that. But I did manage to grab a snack on my way back down the stairs. So there's that. How did you do?
Good. I finished the mystery, which is who I thought it was at first. And then in the middle of the book, I thought, am I wrong about this? I don't know. But no, I was right. So nice to have that wrapped up. I started reading the next book in Miss Marple, which is 450 to Paddington. And I got probably almost that first chapter read. I was like, no, damn it, stop reading this. You're supposed to read something else. So that's on pause. So I go to bed, and I got about 10 pages read in Emma M. Lyon. And it just makes me smile. I'm just enjoying this so much. So, yeah.
Well, and you're 1 book closer to your goal. So now you're not at 77, you're at 78.
Yeah. And I can't count it for any of my challenges. I just checked, and it's irritating. But unless I got something wrong, unless I had counted as being a book about secrets. Because there are secrets. Like someone is married to someone and they're not who they really say they were. And there's murders, multiple, and people were lying about the value of a mine in Africa. Okay.
I would count it.
Okay. Thanks. Okay.
You're welcome. So speaking of challenges, as you go into the new year, do you already know challenges that you're doing for next year?
Yeah. Listen, first of all, I am nothing but a lover of lists. I like making them. I like making book lists and filling in possible titles for things. It brings me joy in a ridiculously stupid way. It is totally my jam, right? It's not helpful in actually reading the books that I own in my house. And I don't want to read half the stuff that I have to read for things. But anyways, yes. So I'm going to, assuming they're doing it again, do the Book Naturalists again. So that's all nonfiction, science, nature writing, stuff like that. This year is the 5th year. This 2025 is the 5th year. And they did a revisit of some of their favorites. I think they all, they each picked a few of their favorites. And then there was one new one maybe earlier in the year. But so I didn't read as many this year, which is fine. So I'm going to do that next year. And then, of course, our book club. So I'll bring that. And then probably do Simon Savage and his mom, Louise. They do a reading prompt. It's 1 a month. I'll do that again next year. And then the big one I do is the 52 book club. So they just had an announcement video today of the 2026 like book, which is like this one, this little reading journal. So there's, oh my God, spaces to plan like what you want to read for options for each prompt. And then there's like a whole bunch of trackers I don't know what to do with. And then each prompt has a full page. So it's like, you know, author, title, what you rated it, you know, reviews, blah. And then at the end, near the end, there's different monthly challenge, mini challenges. I don't really do those because I'm up to my eyeballs and stuff I'm supposed to read anyways. There's a read it and watch it bonus challenge. There's a bingo board. And then there's each month has its own thing. Let me show you December. It's 2 pages. So you track, like, this is sort of a wrap up page more. And then just a big list on the side of everything that you have read for the month. And the thing that gets me the most about this, not only because I have to like pre-order this just because it's my own little special thing, but there are stickers. So a sticker shop, just stickers for each one. It's 4 pages, and
Nice.
You put the stickers in and this completed challenge thing on the side, and it makes me so happy. It is totally insane, like far beyond putting a sticker down. I am just...
That's fun though. You gotta have something fun.
I know. So this totally, so even though I get annoyed and like this is, I have to read 14 things for this to complete the challenge, which I still have 14 from last year. So I'm doing much better than last year. But yeah, I really like it. So yeah, our book club, Book Naturalists, 52 book club, Simons. And then I almost always do Short September, which is just for September. And then Victober I try and do. Yeah. So
Nice.
I know. And you are not so much into this stuff, right?
No, not at all. Not even close to what you are. I try to like, so when I first joined BookTube, I didn't know about anything like this. I just read a lot. I've always been an avid reader. I always read a lot. I always read a lot. And I was completely oblivious to the amount of like things that people do for reading.
It's impressive.
Of course, you know, there's, when you were kids, we had like reading logs, and we had where we were trying to get our personal pan pizza, and you know, like we did all those things, but nothing to this extent. And I know when I first joined BookTube, like I was like, join all the things, do all the things, be all the things, and that really, like, once I started having kids, that was just, I was like, that's just not going to happen, and it just was causing a lot of slumps, and it was causing a lot of like angst towards BookTube, and I was like, yeah, I'm not into this. I want to be able to read for myself. And I just started to like shift away from shift away from TBRs and anything like that, other than like a few choice books that I'm like, I do want to read this month, and just kind of like the whole mood reading, just reading what I want to read when I want to read it. And that has helped my reading immensely in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
But I've slowly kind of escalated back into doing a few things. So this next year, I do have a couple of loose plans as far as reading goes. One, obviously, our book club, which I'm super psyched about. I love themes, like parties having themes, book clubs having themes. I love themes. So I'm so excited that we have like a theme for our book club this year. So obviously that is something that I'll be doing. I turn 40 in 2026. So what I would like to do is from January to July, which is 7 months, I would like to do 40 books before I turn 40.
Yeah.
And that will include 35 books I want to read and 5 books I want to reread. Because there's a few books that I've read that I feel like I would feel differently about now at this age.
Yeah.
And I'd like to reread them and see how I feel about them. So that's one thing that's kind of like a personal challenge. So 40 books before I turn 40, which is completely doable, I think, for 7 months. And then, so for a long time and always, I've always been very interested in history. And a lot of times when I read a book, like a fiction book that is based around or has reference to a true historical event, I'm always like, oh, I should read something about that because I'm interested about that. For example, anytime I read an Amy Tan book, I'm always like, I need to read a nonfiction about the World War II in China because like, or how it affected China, because like every time I read her stuff, I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is so fascinating. And I always like put it on my TBR and whatever. So a challenge for myself, again, these are all like personal challenges, but what I'd like to do as I move forward in 2026 for reading, I'd like to do a pairing. So like if I'm reading something that has a significant like historical, well, like obviously if I'm reading a fantasy book, it's not going to work. But like if I'm reading something and it has some kind of event that it's based around, I'd like to pair it with a nonfiction like accompaniment. So for example, like if we were to have that Eyes of the Queen book picked, I would like to pick like a nonfiction book about Queen Elizabeth. You know what I mean? Like, so I just think that would be fun. I think that would be fun to have like a nonfiction pairing. Before I get too far into my ranty ramble. Hi Mary.
Hi Mary. Oh my gosh.
Nice to see you. Thank you for joining us tonight. Tell us what you're reading. So yeah, so I have our book club, 40 before 40, my historical pairings, and then I usually always participate in middle grade March. I don't necessarily always do the book read, like the group read.
Yeah.
But I always like March is usually I read all middle grade as much. Well, I read as much middle grade as I can. Not that I don't read it throughout the year, but March I really try to focus on it.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, so that, and then that's pretty much it. I don't really do anything else. I used to try to do Dewey's and it's kind of fell flat for me the last couple of years. So, so I lurk usually, but tonight my tablet lets me live chat. Yay! You know what? We love a good lurker. So lurk away, because I am a pro at lurking. I love lurking. And sometimes I feel like if I comment, it's like I don't want anyone to know I'm here. I just want to participate silently, like in the back of the room. Like it reminds me like when you're in a classroom and you're like really interested in what they're saying, but you're also trying not to look interested because you don't want to be called on.
Exactly.
That's what I feel like lurking is. Yeah. Looks like Mary's reading Shards by Michael Schotter, a Goodreads giveaway win. Yay, good for you. I've never won anything from there. That's so cool.
Yeah, awesome.
You'll have to let us know how it is. Yeah. I'm a pro at lurking. I like to just stay in the background, which is funny because like I'm an introvert, and as I age, I lean more into introvertness because I think and it made me not so much introverted, but like I am a person who feels like more of a what's the word I'm looking for? Like I'm an observer at this age because I feel like, thinking back, there's a lot of times I should have just kept my mouth shut. And I think that comes with age. You just learn like when you should speak and when you should listen. And I just feel like I'm in the listening stage of my life. Like I'm going to let other people say stupid things. I'm past that. So yeah, it might seem like I'm an introvert when I'm out in public, but usually it's just because I'm observing, just taking it all in, just enjoying myself. I don't need to talk. I don't need to participate in everything. Yeah. So, anywho. So yeah, I mean, I always think all the time, like, oh, I'm gonna join this, or like Victober, I'm like, oh, no. I think I'm so worried that it's gonna create a slump again that I just go, nope, if I do something, I do it. And if I don't, I don't. So I don't sign up for anything. I don't.
Yeah.
I lurk. If I'm going to do something, I'll just lurk. So, well, with that being said, and with Mary being here with us as well, let's go ahead and get a sprint in. We've been doing 25 minutes. So let's go to the half-hour mark.
Perfect.
And we'll come back around. I'll put that. Was that ASMR okay?
Yeah.
They didn't have any like specifically winter ones because they're all in their like burrows. So you can't really see the outside, but it was a reading squirrel. So I was like, oh.
Yeah, he works. I've watched him at home too on my own.
Yeah.
He's good company.
Okay, so we'll go to the half hour and we will come back and see where everyone's at.
Sounds good.
Okay. I forgot to put in. I forgot to show our thing. Oh, we are to the 30, so we're back.
Okay.
My goodness. How did you do?
Good. I just looked at the page number and I forgot it. I got 30 pages read.
Oh, very nice.
I think. How about you?
Not many. I mean, let me see here. What am I? – 15 pages.
That's pretty good.
So this chapter is only. I have about 20 pages left of the chapter, so
Not bad.
I'm about halfway through, I guess. Yeah, it's okay. This one, it's The Suffragette is the title of the chapter. So it's regarding the women's vote to right to vote.
Mm-hmm.
So it's funny because there's recurring characters, and some of these characters we've seen a lot of the same family in a couple of chapters. And in the very beginning of the book, I very distinctly say in one of my videos, like, the Tower is one of the only chapters where you have a recurring character from the previous chapter. And like the rest of the book, there's so many chapters where there's recurring characters like that were in both chapters. And I'm like, why did I feel like I very distinctly remember like the first 6 chapters of this book, and then everything else is a blur. Like I'll remember certain things, but like in essence, the first 6 chapters are like the most memorable for me. I don't know. It's really kind of goofy, but yeah. So it looks like Mary got 19 pages in, so that's wonderful. Nice. That's awesome. Yeah. Do you often reread at all?
No, the audiobook I started is a reread though. So I used to do it more often before I joined Library Thing in 2008. I reread a little more often. And then that blew my mind with the different kinds of books and authors and genres and subgenres and all this stuff. Like that's when my reading went like, without a school. And then since I joined Goodreads, whenever the heck that was, like, I don't know, 5 years later, I've been getting too much into joining too many things. Speaking of all the things I'm joining next year. So I don't have, I feel like I don't have the time to read what I want to read most of the time, let alone do rereading. So it's been, I mean, maybe I've reread one book a year, maybe. So not really, but I do want to do it more often. Because a lot of stuff, like books that I consider my favorite books, I read them in college, and that was 25 years ago. So, I'm only 30, so I don't know how that's possible. But yeah, I mean, that goes. I know. It's amazing. So I would like to reread some things. So 2 years ago, I reread The Age of Innocence, which is my favorite book, and I still loved it. It's still my favorite book. And I'm listening to now The Portrait of a Lady, which is one of my favorites. And I'm just loving it so far. I'm only like a chapter or 2 in, but yeah. So, I mean, that's very rambly, but I used to do a lot more than none at all. And like, I'm trying to get it back into my life. So yeah. And you don't really do it much, do you?
It really depends. I used to do a lot more when I was a kid. Obviously, you get a favorite book and you just like reread it. There are a couple of books that I do reread. Like every Christmas, I read Skipping Christmas. It's my favorite Christmas book. I love that book. Even though every year I read it, I find little things wrong with the story. Like, it's very funny, but I'm like, I don't care. It's still my favorite book. My favorite Christmas book, that is. When I reread a book, it's usually because the next book in the series is coming.
Sure.
So if it's been a little while since I read them, or I'm like feeling nostalgic and I'm like, oh, I need to reread all the books, then I'll reread them. So like, for instance, when Blackbird Oracle came out, which is the 5th book in the All Souls series by Deborah Harkness, I reread the first 4 books, which the 4th one I had not ever read before. So technically I read that one, but I had reread the first 3. And quite honestly, like I'm really wanting to like reread them again because like they're just so good. They're so good. Like those kind of books I reread. I with my kids now, like I know
Yeah.
rereading a lot of like middle grade books. Like I know I'll read them a lot of Roald Dahl. There's a lot, like I have a lot of classics that it's like I know I'll be rereading that. I'll be rereading all the Narnia books. I'll be rereading all the Harry Potter books. I'll be reading, like it is what it is. But as far as like adult fiction, the most I reread are probably classics. Like if there's a group reading it, sometimes I like, oh, I loved that book. I'll join so that, whatever. But typically like just run of the mill standalones, that kind of stuff. I don't really reread like I used to.
Yeah.
Usually if it's like if the next book is coming. So for instance, the 6th book in the All Souls will come out. I might reread all 5, but I for sure will reread the 5th one before I get into the next one. So yeah, there is a little bit of rereading. I know when like Rebecca Yarros comes out with her 4th book in her Fourth Wing series, I'm hesitant in rereading the first 3.
Yeah.
Because I really feel like after Fourth Wing, it just fell off the deep end of like book filler. And I don't want to really waste my time rereading something like that.
Yeah.
Because so like for that, so the example there is like, because Harkness is so good, I'm totally willing to reread 5 books for one. But for like Yaros, I'm not really willing to read all 3 to get to the 4th one, which I know a lot of people will do. But I'm here for the vibes, so like I don't need to be like, because there's people that like dissect every passage and every way. No, I listen to them on audiobook. I don't care what is what. I just am here for the feel. So
Yeah, you're there to enjoy it.
yeah, so I won't reread that, but yeah. But like I was saying before, when we were talking about challenges, I'm going to challenge myself to reread 5 books. And it's more so like, so one in particular I know that I definitely want to reread because I think when I read it, I don't think I was in the right state of mind. And I think it may affect me in a different way if I read it now, which is that A Gift from the Sea.
Yeah.
By, is it Anne Lindbergh?
Mm-hmm. No.
Right? Yeah. No, Carol? I don't know.
Oh my God.
Yeah. You know what book I'm talking about.
Yep.
So I know when I read it the first time, it was like, I feel like it just went over my head. And a lot of
you
people
thought it was a different book than it actually is, too. You're like,
right.
What? That was contemporary. I'm like, no.
Yeah. I was very confused. And a few followers at the time were like, well, like if you had kids, you'd feel differently. And at the time, I was not yet I was a stepmom, but I didn't have any biological children yet. So I have it. I do own it. So I'm like, I feel like I should read, and it's very small. So I'm like, I really feel like I want to reread that, and see if there's any difference. As for the other 4 books, I'm not quite sure.
Yeah.
Most likely they'll be classics.
Yeah, I think you should reread Dennis Johnson because you liked that book.
Yeah. Well, and there's a lot that I haven't read yet, so
Sure.
I may not even have to. I'm sure there'll be some Tim O'Brien in there. I'm really hoping there'll be the new Dan Brown book because I really want to read that.
Oh, I wanted to mention to you, I don't know if you saw this I think it was a book page. I don't know if you've read any of the ones that I gave you or not yet, or if you just checked them, whatever. Anyways, there's a new recent biography of Tim O'Brien that one of his friends wrote. So I think it's got photographs and stuff in it. I don't remember the title, but it was like fairly recently published. So
okay, yeah, I haven't gotten into those. They're in my pile of things that I get to look at when I have some time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, okay, cool. I'll have to look at that.
Yeah.
Thank you for letting me know.
Sure.
Yeah. So yeah, I gotta figure out what that's gonna look like. I think one of the rereads I might do too is Sherman Alexie book that I really liked back when I read it the first time.
Mm-hmm.
I might read that. So I can't remember the title right now. I know what it looks like, but I can't remember the title. Yeah. But I really like Sherman Alexie too. And I met him at a book signing, and he is, first of all, hilarious. Like when he speaks and talks about everything, he's very funny. But also very nice. Like when you go and get your book signed and everything, you feel like he's just talking to you by yourself, like he's just very kind. So I like reading his stuff. He has a nice way of writing. Mm-hmm. Anyways. Did you have like a favorite book of the year so far? Yeah.
I mean, I can look at my favorites for the month so far, but nothing's jumping out. How about you?
So I was like looking at Goodreads and how, you can look at your stats and everything. Yeah. And I think you only have like 4 or 5 5-star books.
Yeah.
And sometimes my favorite book doesn't necessarily get a 5-star rating, which is weird.
Yeah.
But I would say like the best book of the year that like just had like all the feels was definitely Spell Shop. Yeah. I definitely like that book. Really was super fun. I actually have it here with me right now. And I have the second one. So this is what Spell Shop looks like for those of you who may not know what I'm talking about. This is a Sarah Beth Durst, and they just came out with the second one. Literally, I think it was released on my birthday.
Yeah.
But that is The Enchanted Greenhouse. So I'll probably read this one soon. And I'm hoping that it's just as good as the first one. Ooh, I haven't even cracked it yet. Oh, nice. That just sounds so amazing.
That's satisfying. That's satisfying.
Sorry, my chair keeps rolling away. Oh, that was nice. Yeah, so the first one has a purple and this one has a green. So yeah, so I'll read that too. But yeah, that was just really a great book. And that book with the octopus, The Incredibly Bright Creatures, I gave that 5 stars. I thought that was really good. And the funny thing is I really didn't want to read that book because everyone was talking about it, and there were so many mixed reviews, and I don't like reading books that are like hyped. I don't like reading books that everyone's talking about because I don't want to go in with like an expectation. And I was going through my Hoopla and I was like, what am I going to read? And I had it in my like starred area and I was like, oh, fine, I'll just read this book. And I listened to it on audio, and thank goodness I did, because, oh my goodness, I don't think there's any other way to read this book, because the narrator does such an amazing job, especially when you get the POV of the octopus. Yeah. That is what made that book, is that octopus. So I really enjoyed that one. So I would say between that and Spell Shop, those were probably my top 2 books of the year for sure.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm flipping through. One of them is Grimoire Girl by Hilary Burton. It's her second memoir. I loved it so much. So that was really good. And then I really liked A Fine Romance by Susan Branch. We read in May. That's one of my favorites of the year. One of the months I picked a smut book, I was like, what? Oh, yeah, no, I remember what that book was. I didn't rate it my favorite for the month because of the smut. It was other stuff. But yeah, even the stuff I read that's like my favorites of the month, I'm like, yeah, that was good. But nothing is like, oh my God, this was just so amazing.
Yeah.
Like I really enjoyed them. And that's kind of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a lot of 5 stars this year by any means.
Yeah.
I mean, quite a few 4s, but even just flipping through.
I'm very much into 3s. Like I rate a lot of book 3 stars. And I don't think that 3-star is a low rating. Like for me, 3 stars is good. It's just I have a lot. Like a lot of books I read are all 3 stars.
Yeah.
4 stars. I was really proud of myself. I did a lot of like 2 and 1 stars. Usually I'm like, I feel bad. And I'm like, no, you know what? Right. I'm just going to start doing this because it needs to be done.
I've only had 3 actual 5 stars this year.
3. Yeah, I did not have many. I think I have like 4. So like, wow. I know for sure off the top of my head that 4th Wing was in there, which makes me like, why did I give that 5 stars? But you know what?
It was fun.
I literally rate immediately after reading, and sometimes I will go back the next day to adjust because I've had the time to sleep on it. But after that, I do not adjust my rating because it deserves the rating after you've read it. How that immediate feeling, and then like I said, if you sleep on it and you're like, well, actually, let me think about, And for me, 4th Wing was fantastic. I thought it was perfect, not perfect, but like it did what it meant to do. And then you get into like Iron Flame and Onyx Storm and you're like, what is going on? And then Incredibly
Bright Creatures.
There you go. I thought when I finished that, I was like, that was just so good. And then Spell Shop, again, when that one, I was like, that deserves 5 stars. That was great. And I think maybe that was it. I'm not sure if I had any other ones that were 5 stars. I'm not great at giving. I'm not great at giving 5 stars. I'll be honest. Let's see here. I think maybe that might have been it. Oh yeah, nope, that's it. Just those 3. Just those 3. And then at an okay amount of 4 stars, everyone's living in 3 stars. Quite a few 2 stars. And it looks like 8 1 stars.
Yeah.
So, but a lot of those like are a lot of that smut. Like the 2 and 1 stars, that's a lot of like smut that I'm like, this is so bad. Which is hilarious because if you go on Goodreads, like there are so many reviews that are like 5 stars. And I was like, how? How?
Have you read a book
There's before? This is the best book I have ever read.
Please read other things. Please read something else.
Is it the only book you've ever read? Because I can tell you, there are better books out there. And this has nothing to do with the smut part. Like, nothing to do, like, people are like, oh, well, it's smut, so it can't be good. No. There is very good smut out there, let me tell you. And it has nothing to do with the sex scenes. Like, it's not like, oh, that has 5 stars because, the sex was so good. No. The story has to be good too. And so a lot of those romantasy or whatever books I read, I was like, this is terrible. Like, when you can tell, like, you don't have an editor.
Right.
It's not getting 5 stars. I'm sorry.
Right.
So, anywho. Oh, okay. Well, we had a little bit of a chatty time there. Shall we do another sprint? How are we feeling? In time, what are we looking at? I'm doing okay, but I know I want to make sure we're reading the room properly. How are you feeling?
I'm okay. I have 1 more in me for sure. Not sure about 2, but Yeah, one more for sure. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and anticipate this being our last one. But when we come back, if we feel like we have a little bit more going for us, we'll do a second one. But if you're here with us, let's kind of keep that in mind that this may be our last sprint for this evening. So, really make it worth it. And we'll do another 25 minutes per the usual. So that'll bring us to quarter after the hour. I'll make sure I put the banner up this time. We'll go back to our reading squirrel. And we'll see you on the flip side. So happy reading.
Excellent.
Okay, I think that brings that sprint to an end. It looks like Mary went to bed. Thank you, Mary. If you're still lurking in the background, you never know. But thank you for joining us. It was a pleasure.
Yeah,
And we hope we can do this again with you. And even if it's through comments or if you're just lurking, either way works for us.
Yeah.
How did you do as far as your reading goes?
Good. I finished the book.
Good.
And it was actually 5 stars. So that is now
There you go.
my 4th 5-star.
Now you got another book down on your list. So now you're at 79, right?
No, 72. No, 71. I had 7. No.
I had 77 on Goodread.
You're right. I was subtracting, and yeah, you were adding. You're right. Now I'm at 79.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I got to put a sticker down too, so that's good.
Woo!
I know. Oh, how did you do?
I have like 7 pages left, so yeah, that's pretty good. The chapter itself, it looks like I probably have about 10 minutes of listening time, so
yeah.
But it'll be nice to have that done, and then I just will find time to film and get that in for Sunday, and then I'll be 2 more chapters to the end.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
I want to find the dang gold.
Yeah.
It's been a while. To mention too, for both of us, when we were talking about challenges in the beginning of our sprints, serum.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So for those of you who don't know, back in, was it 2020?
2019.
Laura and I read London. I think it was 2020 because we read the whole year. So I think this was the first book we ever read together, like one big buddy read. Yeah, I think it was 2020.
But that
anyway,
was COVID,
it doesn't matter.
Right?
What's that?
That was COVID year, right?
Yeah. So we read this together, this big chunky book, and it's by an author named Edward Rutherford, who has many other books like this. So he has a book called China. He has a book called New York, Paris. He has some Ireland ones. And then he has this other one, which is also about England. So this one's London. And then this other one is in the central area, but it's called Serum. And we attempted to read it, 2 years ago? And I think we got a chapter in and we were like, yeah, no, like not the time or place to be reading this right now.
Yeah.
So we are taking that challenge on again this next year, 2026. And I think we'll make it this time. I think we'll be able to get through it.
I hope so.
And see where we go with that because, yeah. And from what I understand, a follower of mine who also has read a lot of Rutherford, and they have read London, enjoyed London. They have already read Serum, and they said that Barnacle is in Serum, which I love the Barnacle line. Yeah. So I'm excited to see what we see there because obviously with them being from Viking ancestors, maybe that's what we see. I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's interesting.
I know. I'm kind of excited. So we'll see where that goes. But yeah. And a fun night. I think now that we're here, I'm probably good on discontinuing any more sprints for this evening.
Yeah.
I think we did a good job. You were able to finish 2 books. And I'm just about done with my reading for this chapter. So that's great. That really helps me along. I kind of wish I would have gotten to our book, but it'll be okay. I'll just make more of an effort the rest of the month. But as far as updates go or reminders, if you want to go back to the beginning of this live stream, we did go through the 3 book picks that we'll be voting on for the month of January. So again, remember for November, we are reading Jane's Fame by Claire Harman.
Mm-hmm.
December, we do not read together. We skip December. And then, so for January, we have 3 books from the 2020 to 2025 time frame to choose from, as we are reading through the decades for 2026. So there are 3 books to choose from. The Foxwife, Apples Never Fall, and The Eyes of the Queen. So you can check those out in our community tab. There's also a brief description of what we're doing in 2026. If you're interested in participating in providing book picks, please do email Laura at heybookbubbler@gmail.com. I've also put that in the post as well. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. We are always up for answering those questions. Also, if you're not currently part of our Voxer group and you want to join our Voxer group, you just have to reach out to me and give me your handle, and then I just can add you to the group. Don't worry, we don't do a ton on there, so you're not going to get like bombarded with daily messages. But if you would like to participate in that, we're always accepting our fellow members to be part of that. So anywho, I think we'll call it a night there. And we'll look forward to seeing you again at the end of the month, the last Tuesday of the month, which for November is November 25th. That's when we will have our live discussion on Jane's Fame. So anything else from you, Laura? Or
Nope.
Okay.
I got nothing.
Well, until then, we'll see you guys later, and I hope you have fun this month.
Bye.
Bye.